Abortion is an international industry on a massive scale. BPAS income was £31 million. That's the British Pregnancy Advisory Service. Seven staff were paid over £100,000 in 2018, and their CEO has wages of £165,000. This is big industry, big business. Marie Stopes International is even bigger. £296 million turnover in 2018. 36 staff paid over £100,000. And that right now the Charity Commission is investigating their CEO, who is paid over £400,000 a year. Big industry. £48 million was paid to Marie Stopes International in 2018 by the UK government. We are all paying for this. And recently, Fiona Bruce, a Member of Parliament, tabled a motion asking for the government to stop funding Marie Stopes International. The government is pledged to spend £1.7 billion over a 5-year period through the Department of International Development for family planning. A large part of that family planning being abortion. Huge sums of money. Huge sums of money. And I would say to people, one of the arguments I hear from pro-choice, pro-abortion people is that there are too many people in the world. We need to control the population. Look at all the damage human beings are doing in the world. Well, it's a different talk, but I would question the notion that there are too many people in the world. There are just over 7 billion. UN figures show that by the end of this century, there will be about 11 billion people in the world. The population will plateau and then start declining by the end of this century. And if you had a mega city, so imagine London, and you just expanded it out, where you had the entire population of the world, that city would occupy the size of Texas. And that's right now at 7 billion. So even if you doubled the population, so you had a city the size of 2 Texases, that is still a lot of space left in the world. We are not overpopulated. And even if we were overpopulated, is killing the most vulnerable members of the population of our world the best way to deal with it? And if we are worried about the natural world, just imagine what we could do with £1.7 billion to clear up the ocean. The boats that could go and pick up the plastic bags, clear up all the rubbish. The technology that we could bring out to reduce carbon emissions. £1.7 billion spent on killing human beings. If you're concerned about the environment, you should be pro-life, because human ingenuity will solve the problems that we have in the world. If we can put a man on the moon within 100 years of the first flight, in fact, it's within about 50 years of the first flight. I think the first flight was about 1911. Man on the moon in 1969. If we apply ourselves to a problem, we can solve it. All the rubbish in the world, all the environmental problems, let's put the money into that, not into killing human beings.